Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, and I'm a New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and I'm also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am so excited to be speaking with a friend of mine, the amazing, world-renowned Lebanese-American operatic and crossover tenor, AMINE HACHEM. For more on Amine, you can check out more below the video, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek at the incredible talent of AMINE HACHEM.
'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Well, hello, Amine. How are you?
Hello, Will. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me. The audience just got to have a little sneak peek of your most recent release of Hard Times Come Again No More, a song that was written by Stephen Foster all the way back in 1854. And if there's anyone to make any old song new again, it's you, Amine.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, this goes to show you that not much has changed, unfortunately, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, I want to talk about the song in a little bit, but first and foremost, I just want the audience to know that they can obviously read more about you below this video and on your website, but your talent is immense. I remember meeting you a few years ago through a mutual friend, and not only your command of multiple languages, but your command of multiple musical genres is like no other artist I've ever witnessed or come across. And I want to know, where you grew up and when you knew that you kind of not only had a knack for different styles of music, but also a love of languages.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Well, I was born and raised in Lebanon, Beirut. And when you're born in Lebanon, it's your average Lebanese speaks multiple languages. So this to me, I've always had an affinity towards such things, languages, music, different cultures. So that was my exposure. And I'm only being true to myself with my music. So yeah, from anywhere from opera, crossover, different genres is the music that I grew up listening to. Anywhere from Bach to Michael Jackson, So the three tenors back in the 90s, they were a big thing. It was when I was like growing up, and they were like the it thing. And my father's heroes, from all the old Hollywood stars to Elvis Presley, Sinatra, Tom Jones, Stevie Wonder, James Brown, Dean Martin, you name it, Tony Bennett, all those great stars. And of course, my studies in opera, Enrico Caruso, Luciano Pavarotti, Franco Corelli, Alfredo Kraus, all those great giants have had tremendous influence on me.
Well, so, you can tell that through your music, but what you do, unlike so many artists who have so many influences like you have had, is you're able to, in a consolidated way, through the vessel of you, fuse it together and make it your own. So like you mentioned, all of these amazing artists and genres of music, where in some artists you might say and see them perform and be like, oh, they're all over the place. But with you, Amine, you fuse it. It's a fusion.
Thank you. You know what? I never think of it that way. I just think it's because I feel like it's in my DNA. If it's not in your DNA and you're trying to create a new sound, maybe that's when you fail, and it's okay to fail.
That's right.
But I realized this didn't come to me just like yes, I was born with it, but at the same time, sometimes as an artist, and you may very well know, you always have a dilemma. Every single stage, whenever, like every 10 years in your life, maybe, or 5 years, or 7, you get to this crossroads, right? Where you're like, what's my mission? What do I do next, right? And then like, should I be I wanted to be a purist at some point in my life, just pure operatic tenor and do nothing else. And then before that, I'm like, no, I'm both. Like I want to do crossover, and I sang rock and roll, and I did pop music and whatnot. And then I got to a point in my life where I realized I'm both. It's because they're both part of me. And my education, of course, is in the classical realm, you know, but at the same time, the others are in my DNA as well. So I decided to be true to who I am. And I started jumping from like a Traviata opera to an Abbalati music video, which is a tarantella siciliana combined with some Arabic fusion of instruments and whatnot, just to combine the Mediterranean cultures together, which is part of me as well.
That's
so
right.
it's not that I'm trying to invent something new. I'm just trying to be true to who I am, if it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, your authenticity is so apparent, but on top of that, you know, it's the fact that you have done the work, not only on your craft, but yourself, to come to a very authentic, pure sense of who you are as a person and a musician. And obviously, when people see all of the videos that are out there of you, they see you seamlessly traverse different musical genres. I think in large part because you're not looking at them segmented as different things. They're all a part of you and your bone marrow, the music that was infused in you as a kid that you had, you know, no other, there was, what I'm trying to say is, of course, you celebrate all these genres of music. But like Judy Garland quote, you know, don't be a second-rate version of someone else, be a first-rate version of you. You're an example of someone who's been able to stand on their own 2 feet and be the best first-rate version of yourself. And what an inspiration that could be for, you know, the young Amines out there who look up to you. Be like, oh my God, you can do it all, and that's okay.
Thank you, Will. That means a lot. Thank you.
You know,
I have nothing to say to this. I appreciate you.
well, it's the truth. And you know me, we speak offline. And, you know, I've been a fan of yours for years. And, you know, I know we will find a time to collaborate together.
Yes.
I just know it. You know,
I want you to finally direct one of my shows.
It's going to happen, baby.
It'll happen, baby.
I want to know, you know, because unfortunately we don't have all the time in the world, but I want to talk about 2 things. One, Hard Times Come Again No More, an oldie but a goodie written by Stephen Foster, which you also, you know, conceived the notion of and also had a part in the arrangement. I want to know why now? Why now in that song for you?
I feel like it's timely now more than ever, and these are my sentiments. And truly, may they come again no more. That's how I. The thing about the song is that it could be a downer in the beginning.
That's right.
But then towards the end, there's a glimmer of hope.
That's right.
And I am an optimist in general. But with this song, it's not a fool's hope. It's a pragmatic hope and in a poetic-ish way. So there's always this like, yes, we're going through these things, but at the same time, I see the light. As small as it is, but I do see it, and we're gonna have better days.
Well, I think
this is me. That's my sentiment, and that's why I decided to do it now. It's a labor of love between me, my music director Brian Holman, and my brother Andrew. You know, everyone you see, almost everyone you see on the video are actually friends. My parents, are good friends from around the world. So it's a labor of love, like I said, and I wanted to be as authentic as the intent.
Well, that comes across. It comes across beautifully. Your sense and love of the music, of the storytelling, of family. You're a storyteller because the way that you conceived and arced that song, for me as a director, it's a theatrical piece. You made it into a 3-act play, and you made it with the intention of hope. And I think of you, Amine, coming on board FENIX, whose hope is to connect artists and a fan base and artists from not only across the country, but around the world. And I think of the connection that you're going to be making with even more people. I mean, your fan base is so broad. It traverses not only the United States, but all around the world. And, you know, for someone like you, it's been a rough year for everyone. You know, and you're a pretty big deal. I mean, you know, I know you're humble, but you're a big deal. But this was a hard year for you, as it was for many artists.
Yeah.
With an app like FENIX, looking toward the future and not only putting more money in artists' pockets, but connecting artists to future collaborators as well. What does that mean for you?
It means it works with the message that I was talking about, the light. It is the light. I feel like it's the light for artists out there. So I'm very flattered that you thought of me. And I am personally delighted to be working with you and everyone else involved in this company.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.